Okay, so today we're diving into something that could really change your daily life, I think.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool.
We're talking about building your own intelligent personal assistant.
That's right.
And to help us with that, we're looking at this framework called CrewAI,
Yeah,
and we're really focusing on automating those everyday tasks, the kind of things that,
yeah,
eat up your time and keep you from being productive.
exactly. And CrewAI is really great for this because it's all about building these teams of AI agents
Right.
that can work together. It's Python based,
Okay.
but what sets it apart is that it's not dependent on like LangChain or anything like that.
Gotcha.
And it really focuses on this idea of teamwork and how these agents can collaborate.
So it's not just like one AI doing one thing, it's like a whole team of them working together.
Exactly. It's like building a little digital workforce to help you with all your tasks.
That's a great way to put it. So what's the mission for us today? Like, what are we actually trying to build with this CrewAI?
Well, we want to show you how you could use CrewAI to build a personal assistant that's specifically tailored to you.
Okay.
So we're talking about managing your email, maybe reconciling your bank accounts, even generating like dynamic dashboards to visualize your finances.
That's awesome. I mean, those are things that I definitely struggle with, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners do too.
Absolutely. And CrewAI makes this possible through these core components like agents, tasks, cruise flows, and tools.
Okay, great. Break that down for me.
All right, so agents are like your individual AI workers.
Mhm.
Each one has a specific role, goals, and tools they can use.
Okay.
Then you have tasks, which are the specific jobs you assign to these agents.
Right.
And then crews are how you manage these teams of agents and how they work together.
Okay, so the crew is like the manager of the whole operation.
Exactly. And then you have flows, which give you even more fine-grained control over specific scenarios.
Okay.
And finally, tools, these are what allow the agents to actually interact with the real world. Things like searching the web, analyzing data, accessing APIs.
Wow. So these agents can really do a lot.
They can, yeah. And that's what makes CrewAI so powerful.
So let's get practical here. Let's talk about something that I think everyone struggles with, email overload.
Oh, yeah.
How could CrewAI help us with that?
So imagine this. You have an email checking agent
Okay.
whose only job is to monitor your inbox.
Right.
And report any new messages it sees. It'll tell you the subject, the sender, and that's it.
Okay, so it's like a little inbox watchdog.
Exactly. And then you have an automatic response suggestion agent.
Okay.
And this agent reads those new emails
Yeah.
and suggests how you might respond.
Wow, so it's like having a personal assistant draft my emails for me.
Pretty much.
That's amazing. But how does this email checking agent actually get access to my inbox?
That's a good question. So the most direct way is to create a custom tool using the Gmail API.
The what?
The Gmail API.
Yeah.
So it's basically a way for software to talk to your Gmail account.
Okay.
It requires a bit of setup with Google, but it gives you a lot of control over how you access your email data.
I see. So it's kind of like giving this agent a key to my inbox.
Yeah, exactly. And then for the response suggestion agent, it would need some NLP.
NLP.
Natural language processing. It's how computers understand and work with human language.
Okay.
And it would likely use that same custom email tool to access the content of the emails.
Gotcha.
Now, for the suggestions, it could use a couple of approaches.
Like what?
Well, it could have some predefined templates for common emails like thank yous or confirmations.
Right.
Or it could actually use a language model to generate more personalized responses.
Wow, that's pretty sophisticated.
It is. And if it needs more information to craft a good response, you could even use a web search tool.
So it could like go out and research the topic of the email.
Exactly. And then the beauty of this is that the email checking agent would pass any new emails it finds to the response suggestion agent.
Okay, so they're really working together as a team.
Exactly. That's the power of CrewAI.
So let's move on to another pain point, bank reconciliation.
Yeah, that's not a
Definitely not. How could CrewAI help us automate that?
All right, so for this, we'd have a bank reconciliation agent,
Okay.
like a dedicated specialist. Its goal would be to compare your bank statements with your internal financial records.
Right.
Identify any discrepancies, and then generate a report.
So it's doing all the tedious matching and checking for me.
Exactly. No more manual data entry.
That's a huge time saver, but where does it get this data from?
Well, it needs access to both your bank statements and your internal financial data.
Right, so like my bank statements and maybe my accounting software.
Exactly. And for this, it could use a few tools.
Like what?
Well, it could use a file read tool to read your bank statements, which might be CSV files, for example.
Okay.
And then it would need to access your other financial data, which could be a bit more tricky.
Right, because that data might be in a different format.
Exactly. And if it needs to do some more in-depth analysis, it could use a code interpreter tool to actually run Python code.
So it could use like libraries like pandas to manipulate the data.
Precisely.
Great.
And if your bank happens to offer an API, we could even create a custom tool for direct access.
Wow, so this agent could potentially handle all sorts of financial data.
It could. And we're already seeing AI used in similar tasks like stock analysis or even loan applications.
So this isn't just some far-fetched idea, it's actually doable.
Exactly. It's very much within the realm of possibility.
Okay, so we've reconciled our bank accounts, we've got all this data, but how do we make sense of it? How do we visualize it?
That's where the dynamic dashboard generation agent comes in.
Okay.
It's like your personal financial dashboard creator. Its job is to take all that analyzed bank data and turn it into visual trends.
So we're talking about charts, graphs, things like that.
Exactly. You can see your spending habits,
Yeah.
your income versus expenses where your money's going all laid out visually.
That's much easier to understand than just looking at raw numbers.
Absolutely. And this agent would need access to that same bank data.
Okay.
For the visualizations themselves, it could potentially use Python libraries like Matplotlib or Seaborn. And the dynamic part means you could customize what you want to see, like your spending over the last 6 months, or a breakdown by category.
So I could like filter the data and see different views.
Precisely. It's all about making the data work for you.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
But how do we get all these individual agents to work together? I mean, it sounds like a lot of moving parts.
Right. And that's where the concept of the crew comes in.
Okay.
We need to organize these agents into a cohesive team.
Right.
And for a personal assistant, I think a hierarchical approach makes a lot of sense.
Hierarchical, like a pyramid.
Yeah, kind of. You could have a personal assistant manager agent at the top.
Okay.
And when you make a request, this manager agent figures out which specialized agents are needed and delegates the tasks.
So it's like the boss of the AI team.
Exactly. And the structure is really flexible because as you add more functionality to your assistant, you can just add more specialized agents to the crew.
I see. So it can grow and evolve over time. Okay, so I'm sold on this personal assistant idea. But how do I actually interact with it? How do I tell it what to do?
We need a user interface. And for this, I think Streamlit is a great option.
Streamlit, what's that?
It's a framework that lets you build interactive web apps in Python, and it's perfect for AI applications.
Okay, so I could have like a web page where I can control my personal assistant.
Exactly. Imagine a simple page with buttons for each functionality, like check emails,
Right.
reconcile bank account, show dashboard.
Okay.
You click what you want, maybe enter some dates, and that tells the manager agent which agents to activate.
So it's like a control panel for my AI team.
Pretty much. And the beauty of this is that you're only using the AI power you need at that moment.
Right, so it's very efficient.
Exactly.
This has been so insightful. So basically with CrewAI, we can build a custom intelligent assistant that can handle all sorts of tasks.
Absolutely. From email management to bank reconciliation and even creating dynamic dashboards.
And it all works through these collaborative specialized agents?
Exactly. And the best part is, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we could add agents for managing your calendar, scheduling appointments, even connecting with other online services.
Wow, so the possibilities are pretty much endless.
They really are. And as these agents become more sophisticated and we refine the user interface, the potential for this kind of technology is huge.
So listeners, here's something to think about. What other parts of your life could you automate and streamline with a personal assistant built on CrewAI?
Yeah, what tasks are taking up your time that you could delegate to an AI?
That's a great question to ponder. Thanks for tuning in to the Deep Dive.
Thanks for having me.